A trail camera set up in the woods of Harrison County, Indiana, was meant to capture deer, but ended up snapping a photo of something far stranger. Triggered by heat and motion late at night, the camera captured an eerie figure. Thin, upright, with glowing eyes. The term not deer is used to describe creatures that resemble deer but move oddly or appear deformed, often linked to paranormal activity. Some believe they are skinwalkers, evil spirits that mimic animals to blend in. Definitely not deer. This man stumbled upon something straight out of a nightmare. A chilling figure stands motionless in the forest late at night, its glowing red eyes piercing through the darkness. Draped in a flowing white robe, the figure remains eerily still, staring directly at the camera without a single movement. Whether it's an elaborate prank, a discarded Halloween prop, or something sinister, no one knows for sure, as the man decided not to investigate further. A woman was walking her dog in the park when the glow of an unusually full moon caught her eye. Captivated, she took a few photos to share with her boyfriend. The pictures were snapped just seconds apart, but in the last one, something strange appeared on the right side. A figure that hadn't been there before, or at least not that she had noticed. Locals who have seen the photo insist it's neither an animal nor a trick of the light. Some believe it could be a tree spirit, a guardian of the forest rarely seen by human eyes. As for the woman, she's still completely baffled by what she captured. Late at night, a group of friends wandered deep into the woods, but what they stumbled upon left them frozen in fear.
Vean. Mira. Mira. Este es un nahual.
Mira.
Espérame, gua. Cuidado, no, esto es peligroso.
Miren, amigos.
Vean, amigos, esto es un nahual.
On a secluded path, a crouched figure appeared, its body twisted in a way that didn't seem human. Whatever it was, the friends didn't wait to find out. Looking back later, they realized it resembled a nahual, a creature from Mesoamerican folklore said to shapeshift and transform into animals, both physically and spiritually. But if that was really what they saw in those woods, remains a mystery. Back in 2017, a man set up a trail camera in the woods behind his property to monitor wildlife. Months passed, and when he finally retrieved it, one image stood out. A young child with long black hair appeared in a single frame. Strangely, the camera, which takes 3 quick shots per motion trigger, captured the child in only one. No children lived nearby, making it even eerier. A boy and his friend ventured into the woods behind their home at night, filming their little adventure. Suddenly, this happened.
Oh my gosh! Help!
What looked like a humanoid figure appeared. Though not much information was provided after, his reaction seemed genuine. But what he captured remains a mystery. While out in nature, this Reddit user spotted something unusual. A massive black creature was seen eating from a tree. At first, it seemed like something straight out of a cryptid sighting, but it wasn't Bigfoot. It was a black bear standing on 2 legs. Commenters speculated that bears in unusual postures might be behind many cryptid myths. A camper heard unsettling sounds outside his campsite and went to investigate. He recorded the entire thing, and then he saw this. A pale humanoid figure was spotted hiding behind the bushes, moving cautiously as if to remain unseen. The uploader claimed it was a skinwalker, captured in a region known for such sightings. But he didn't reveal what happened next. Did the creature stay there? How did the camper get away? It left viewers questioning its authenticity. A man was exploring a forest near an abandoned building. When he reached it, he recorded a video. But when the clip was replayed in slow motion and zoomed in, things got eerie. A little girl with braided hair was standing in the window. The building was completely deserted, making it hard to believe an actual child could be inside. It also didn't look like an actual human being, as it had no color. Was it CGI or a ghost? I can't tell you. This Reddit user shared a chilling photo from a family trip in 2009 during a visit to Oxford Castle. While taking some photos of the castle, he unknowingly captured this. In one of the images, a cloaked figure can be seen standing in a doorway. The shot was accidental, taken while descending the tower stairs. It wasn't until he reviewed the photos at home that the ghostly figure became clear. The man insisted the room was empty, as both he and his cousin had been there. Oxford Castle is rumoured to be haunted by Empress Matilda, often described in a white cloak, eerily similar to the figure in this image. Though ghost tours with costume staff are common in the castle, no actors or displays were visible during their midday visit. A TikTok video reportedly sent from Japan shows a young man playing football while another person records him. As the camera pans toward a nearby bridge, a pale woman becomes briefly visible. When the camera returns to the same spot moments later, the woman is gone. There is no visible path where she could have walked away or hidden. Viewers debated whether the figure was a passerby or something unusual. Or could it be staged? In 1959, Belgian pilot Colonel Remy van Lierde reported a chilling sight while flying over the Katanga region of the Congo. From his helicopter, he claimed to see a massive snake, nearly 50 feet long, covered in green-brown scales, with a head almost 3 feet wide. As he drew closer, the creature even rose about 10 feet off the ground. A photo was taken, but many dismissed it as an illusion or simply a trick of perspective. Still, Van Lierde stood firmly by his account until his death in 1990. While wandering through the garden of his apartment complex, this man casually snapped a few photos. He was simply testing the shutter sound, clicking the button a few times, not aiming for anything in particular. Out of the 5 images he captured, one stood out, and not in a good way. Something, or someone, appeared in the frame. He hadn't seen anything unusual while taking the photo. Was it just pareidolia playing tricks on his mind, or did he unknowingly capture something far more disturbing? While filming a panoramic view near the Ventisquero Negro viewpoint, this man unknowingly captured something strange. In the background, a small, dark figure can be seen walking along the landscape. Unfortunately, the distance and low resolution make it impossible to determine any clear details about who or what it could have been. A man operating a digger spotted a creature stuck deep in the mud. Wanting to help, he used his machine to pull it out, successfully freeing the animal. The story goes that when he got a closer look at it, he panicked, fled the site, and allegedly even quit his job. But this story has never been confirmed. Some viewers are convinced the creature was something paranormal or even alien. Others believe it was just a muddy deer and dismiss the whole thing as fake. Honestly, it does look like a deer caked in mud. But with the internet being the internet, the mystery remains wide open. This man was out capturing the stars when he noticed something disturbing in one of the photos. A dark shadow standing next to him, hidden behind the solar panels. If it was just a shadow, how could it appear against the night sky? And if it were the shadows of the person, shouldn't there be a shadow cast on the solar panels as well? In the woods, a surveillance camera captures an eerie moment at an abandoned structure near the entrance of a private property. A shadow seems to take on a human shape as it moves toward the building. Could it be a ghost or just a trick of the light? These explorers were at Bluff City Cemetery, known from Nightmare on Elm Street 5. In a photo they took near the mausoleum entrance, something eerie appears in the background. Standing by a tree, there's a figure. According to them, the image is raw and untouched, and they have no explanation for it, other than it being something paranormal. A woman came across an old family photo from a camping trip over 50 years ago. The picture showed her mother and younger siblings, but upon closer inspection, she noticed something chilling. Behind her mother stood a little girl she didn't recognize, someone who wasn't part of the trip. The woman believes it was her little sister, who passed away in 1964 at just 6 weeks old. The photo was taken long before the digital age, ruling out Photoshop, and Patty is certain no other families were around their camp that entire trip. Could she be right? In the dead of night, deep in the woods, a trail camera captured something strange. Half hidden behind a tree stood a figure, humanoid in shape, with glowing eyes. The camera was set up to track animals, and the owner was shocked to see anything else, especially so far from civilization. She didn't expect a person, let alone something that didn't look entirely human. But maybe it was just an animal, caught at a strange angle, under strange light. What do you think? In the middle of the night, a group of people were exploring a cave when they recorded this strange video. They spotted figures moving in the dark, their bodies twisted, with arms stretched in unnatural ways. Unlike animals or humans, which move forward or backward, these figures seem to shift side to side. The location of the sighting and any background information remains unclear. Was it just people behaving strangely, skinwalkers, or is it all just a hoax? Between the late 1960s and early 1970s, a strange photo was taken in London's Highgate Cemetery. It showed a dark, robed figure, believed by some to be the king vampire of the undead. By 1970, panic grew as more people claimed to see it. On Friday the 13th of March, Sean Manchester and David Farrant set out to hunt it down. The media fueled the frenzy, and within hours, a mob stormed the cemetery. Manchester claimed he entered a tomb, opened coffins, and placed garlic and holy water inside. Months later, a charred, headless body was found nearby. Farrant was arrested with a stake. Manchester later said he finally destroyed the vampire, but eerie sightings still haunt Highgate. A group of friends was leaving a cemetery late at night when something strange appeared. They were driving down the narrow driveway when a figure showed up on the side of the road. But when they checked the spot later, there was nothing there, only grass and a telephone pole. It felt as if something had decided to leave with them. But what? Back in 6th grade, while waiting for the school bus, a Reddit user snapped a picture of a faint light near a basketball hoop. At the time, nothing unusual stood out, but later, looking closely at the photo, they'd noticed a strange shape, something that didn't belong there. There was nothing in that spot that could have made a figure like that. Years have passed, yet the mystery of what the picture captured still lingers, leaving more questions than answers. While filming in the quiet woods, a man unknowingly captured something strange on camera. As the camera moved, it briefly caught a shadow, unmistakably human in shape. Yet there was no one around to cast it. The sight didn't fit, and the man had no idea how to explain it. It could have been anything, but the shadow's clear, human shape made it hard to ignore. On a warm August night at 8:25 p.m., a trail camera deep in the woods of Washington State was triggered. But this time, it didn't capture the usual deer or small animals. Instead, it photographed this: a pale figure in a white gown, clutching a strange doll. Some suggested it could be a lost dementia patient, but with no missing person reports or nearby roads, that seems unlikely. What's your take on this eerie sighting? Back in April 2011, a strange video was captured in a cemetery in Indonesia. It was filmed at night and showed a white-robed figure slowly walking through the graveyard. At first glance, it looked like just a person in a hood, or maybe part of some ritual. But then, this happened. Could it have been staged, or was there something more unsettling at play? In a small Ukrainian town, a tourist got warned by locals not to enter the woods during snowfall. Curiosity got the better of him, and he went in anyway. At first, everything seemed calm, until he noticed this. A strange figure standing among the trees, its glowing white eyes fixed on him. It didn't look human, yet it wasn't an animal either. Terrified, he ran out of the forest and never returned. A lone cameraman went exploring an abandoned building at night, and things quickly felt off. As he turned a corner, he spotted something. 2 blinking lights deep within the surrounding forest. Curious, he whistled and walked toward them, but a sudden rattling sound to his left stopped him. Following the noise, he found a door shaking on its own. Then, as he turned, the camera caught something disturbing. What looked like a small pair of legs dangling from the rafters, but he didn't notice it at the time. When he filmed the same spot again later, the legs were gone. It wasn't until he re-watched the footage that he realized what he'd captured, and he vowed never to explore alone at night again. A man was playing with his dog outside when he recorded this video. When he watched it back, he noticed something strange. A presence seemed to dart behind the dog as he stepped into the yard, almost as if it didn't want to be seen. The size and shape of the apparition suggested it wasn't human, possibly a ghostly animal, maybe even another dog. The man explained that his dog had been acting differently, as if it were playing with something unseen. Cute, but creepy. Reddit user Adjacent Gunman caught something terrifying on his trail camera. A dark figure gripping what looked like a lifeless coyote. Judging by the cabin in the background, the figure stood around 7.5 to 8 feet tall. Its outline was vague, but the way it held prey seemed almost human. Some thought it could have been a bear standing upright, but something felt off. To clear things up, Adjacent Gunman shared both the lightened and unedited versions of the image, noting, "This is private property that no one uses except for myself and my father. And even still, no one in my area is anywhere near that tall." That's when theories split. Some swore it was proof of something unknown, while others argued it was far more ordinary. One user suggested the figure was actually a tall man, possibly a poacher. They explained he could have been standing on a box, a backpack, or even a hanging stand, preparing to bleed the carcass before skinning it. Not as thrilling as a cryptid, but definitely more plausible. So what do you think? Did this trail cam capture something unexplained, or just a poacher caught in the act? Someone was driving through a quiet village when the dash cam captured something unidentifiable crossing its path. A shadow with an outline of a human figure appears, but there's no one actually there. It vanishes almost immediately, leaving behind an unsettling feeling. A farmer set up a trail camera near his cornfield to monitor possible wildlife damage during the night. While reviewing the footage, one image immediately stood out. In the middle of the field, a tall figure appeared to be standing among the crops. The farmer initially thought it might be a scarecrow, farm equipment, or something left in the field. But to be sure, he checked a daytime image taken by the same camera from the exact same position. In daylight, the field was completely empty. There was nothing there that could explain the figure seen in the night image. Confused, the farmer shared both images online, asking others what they thought it could be. While some viewers found the image unsettling, there may be a simple explanation. Looking closely at the night photo, small drops and light artifacts can be seen across the frame. It's possible the figure was nothing more than a raindrop or moisture on the camera lens, captured at just the right moment, creating the illusion of a standing shape through pareidolia. A group of hikers in Yellowstone Park were filming a group of bears when they unknowingly captured something else. A large humanoid figure moving in the background. Its walk looked undeniably human, but its sheer size suggested otherwise. Given Yellowstone's reputation as a Bigfoot hotspot, some believe this could be genuine proof. Skeptics, however, argue the footage might have been altered or even AI generated. They point out how multiple figures seem to walk in sync, only for all but one to suddenly vanish. What do you think? In June 2018, while on a camping trip, Jesus Guayardo came across an old cemetery. As strange things started happening, he decided to record. Later, when re-watching the video, he noticed something he hadn't seen at the time. A figure briefly appearing in the top corner, seemingly flying in and out of view. Could it have just been another person with him, or was it something truly paranormal? Guess we'll have to take his word for it. While hiking in the boreal forest of Canada, a hiker felt an eerie sensation, as if he were being watched. Scanning the area, he spotted something in the distance. Using his camera to zoom in, he saw a figure staring back at him. At first, it looked like a black bear, but its head appeared oddly human-like, or even ape-like. Since there are no apes in Canada, the creature's identity remained a mystery. The hiker couldn't shake the thought that it might have been a young Bigfoot, but he'll never know for sure. A couple of years ago, this family went on a trip to Jeffries Cliffs in Hawksville, Kentucky. While taking some photos of the kids, they accidentally captured something unsettling. A blurry, shadowy figure can be seen standing behind the group. The mom claimed there was no one else around at the time. Late one night, a security guard monitoring railway cameras noticed something deeply unsettling. On the screen, 3 faint human-shaped figures appeared on the tracks. 2 stood on the left side. 1 stood on the right. The figures were pale and indistinct, with no visible facial features or clear details. For several moments, the shapes remained visible, unmoving except for subtle motion. No trains had passed, no people were reported in the area, and no technical issues were found with the cameras. To this day, the guard has no explanation for who or what appeared on the tracks that night. Could these figures be connected to something tragic that once happened along those rails? Keith Bradenshawer took this photo in 2000 near the Utah-Arizona border. He spotted a large figure lurking in the forest, quickly snapping a photo before the creature disappeared into the trees. While some skeptics dismissed it as a hiker in dark clothing, Bradenshawer remained convinced he had captured a Bigfoot. At a construction site, a group of workers was on a break when something strange caught their eye. A creature unlike anything they'd seen was crawling across the site. The men stood frozen, watching as it inched closer, stopping right in front of them. Then it vanished, gone without a trace. No footprints, no sign it had ever been there. The workers were left trying to make sense of what they had just witnessed. In the summer of 1961, a man working as a night watchman at a plant near Big Rapids, Michigan, witnessed something strange. At around 3 a.m., he spotted movement. At first, he thought it was a person, but soon he saw it was something much taller, covered in brownish-gray hair. The creature moved between walking on 4 legs and standing upright. He grabbed his camera and snapped a picture of it before it disappeared into the woods. The man still has the negative today, and the whole family remains intrigued by the mystery. Facebook user Susie Woozy was walking with her dogs by the river when she took a photo of the peaceful scenery. At the time, no one else was around, and the river appeared completely empty. It wasn't until later, when reviewing the photos, that she noticed something unusual: a ghostly figure in the background. She believes it resembles the apparition of a woman holding a child. Several paranormal experts have since analysed the photo, declaring it genuine. A group of young girls recorded a video while testing a camcorder they had received as a Christmas gift. They decided to film inside a nearby tunnel. But while filming, one of the girls suddenly became scared after seeing something inside. It isn't clearly visible on the camera, making it difficult to tell what she saw. So what frightened her? Do you see anything? Out near Dubina, Texas, a game camera was set up on the D-Mall property, meant to track local wildlife. Nothing unusual was expected, just deer, maybe a raccoon or two. But one night, the camera caught this photo. It showed a blurry figure, oddly thin-limbed, and nothing like any normal animal. Some say it looked like a monkey, others swear it was a chupacabra, but some even suggested a skinwalker. A biologist guessed it might be a baby black antelope, but the landowner shot that down. No exotic animals lived nearby. Whatever it was, it didn't sit right. One evening, a driver was traveling along a forest road when he spotted a dark, humanoid figure at the side of the road. It looked solid and real, yet strangely blurred. What could it have been? A family was on a trip through Europe when they snapped a few cheerful photos to remember the day. Everything looked ordinary until they returned home and began scrolling through the pictures. On the left side of one photo, a figure seemed to appear, something no one had noticed at the time, and it wasn't there in the shot taken just seconds before. The discovery left them unsettled, wondering who or what had quietly slipped into their family memory. But somehow this ghost looks familiar to me. Do you think it's been edited in? A father and son visiting a medieval castle in Kent, England, noticed something strange after reviewing their photos. John Wicks had taken his 12-year-old son Harry to Ensford Castle to help with a school history project. The pair spent time walking through the ruins, taking photographs to better understand how the castle once looked and functioned. At the time, nothing seemed unusual. But later, while looking through the images at home, John noticed something weird. In the background of one photo, a dark human-shaped figure could be seen standing. The figure appeared to be wearing what looked like a long black cloak or robe. Neither John nor his son remembered seeing anyone dressed like that while they were at the castle. Curious, John began researching the site's history. That's when he came across local legends describing sightings of a black monk connected to Ensford Castle. The story dates back to around 1130, when the castle was first built. According to folklore, a monk once lived or sought refuge near the grounds and was later said to haunt the area. Over the years, visitors have reported seeing a dark, robed figure near the ruins. Skeptics suggest it could be a shadow, a trick of perspective, or pareidolia, the brain interpreting shapes as familiar forms. Still, the resemblance to the long-standing legend left John unsettled. Late one night, a security camera caught something strange through a window of a home deep in the woods. It appeared for just 3 seconds, and then it was gone. People who saw the clip started guessing. Some said it looked like a skinwalker, others thought it was just someone playing a prank. But the owner says that's unlikely in such an isolated area. She's been left deeply unsettled. One morning, a man visited a graveyard and stumbled upon a strange sight, prompting him to record it in hopes someone could explain it. The footage shows 3 turkeys circling a gravestone marked Harris in the cemetery, maintaining their formation without breaking it. While turkeys are known to circle things they perceive as threats, the gravestone was neither moving nor dangerous, just one of many in the cemetery. Some dismissed it as instinct, while others speculated the turkeys were sensing something unseen. Still, no one could provide a clear explanation for this unusual behavior. A CCTV camera in Thailand once recorded a strange object drifting through the night sky. Security guards watching the footage were unsettled, unsure of what they had seen. Some viewers suggested it was only a drone, but others pointed to something far darker: the Penanggalan. In folklore from Malaysia and Indonesia, the Penanggalan appears as a woman by day, but at night her head detaches and flies, dragging her organs as she hunts for victims. Despite the unsettling sight, no incidents of attacks were reported when this footage appeared. A group of friends were enjoying a day out on the water, casually filming as they swam and relaxed near their boat. At one point, a young man climbed back on board after being in the water. Nothing seemed unusual at first, but the camera captured something they hadn't noticed at the time. Just behind him, a hand-like shape briefly rises from the water. The shape doesn't look human. The fingers appear webbed, suggesting something aquatic rather than a person. The footage offers no additional context, and nothing else was seen or heard that day. Whatever surfaced behind him remains unexplained. This hiker and his ex went out to the remote North Yorkshire moors for a day of hiking. Using his new digital camera, he took hundreds of photos of the stunning, snow-covered landscape. About a week later, while they were scrolling through the pictures, his ex suddenly grabbed his hand and told him to stop. She had noticed something strange in one of the shots. At first, he didn't see anything, but when he zoomed in on a photo of an open field, both of them froze, speechless, swearing in shock. There, standing in the snow, was a mysterious figure, clearly human-shaped, but obviously not an actual human. How do you explain this? While traveling to Massachusetts, this man decided to visit a cemetery. Exploring the grounds near closing time, he took several photos of the area. It wasn't until later, when reviewing the pictures, that he noticed something unsettling. In the background, a mysterious figure stood among the tombstones. The figure appeared to be a woman, dressed in 18th or 19th century attire, standing alone and seemingly out of place. The man was certain there was no one else around at the time. Could it simply be a case of pareidolia, or is there something more to this eerie encounter? In 2007, a biology professor tested the flash on his new camera near Lake Travis, Texas. But he didn't expect this. The photo revealed a humanoid figure standing on the right side of the frame. Some believed it was Bigfoot, others claimed it looked more like a ghost. The second theory seemed more plausible, because Lake Travis has a dark history. In just 5 years, 17 people drowned there, and over the decades, 9 vanished mysteriously, never to be found again. A man was driving through a wooded area at night, an area he wasn't familiar with. But while driving, he saw this. A human-shaped figure stood by the road, wrapped in white cloth. The figure remained completely still, facing the road, which made the driver assume it was a prop, maybe something meant to scare people. In the comments, some suggested that figures like this are often used to scare animals or warn strangers, similar to scarecrows or markers. But without context, the sight is deeply unsettling, almost as if it were a real person standing there. Back in 2005, a company driver was walking through the woodlands of Quebec, Canada, when he stumbled upon a stunning, hidden water body deep in the forest. He took a few pictures and recorded some videos, but later, while reviewing the footage at home, he noticed this. A towering figure standing around 6 to 8 feet tall, with a long snout and silver hair. The rest of its body was covered in black fur. In its grasp was what looked like a white furred animal, possibly a dog or a rabbit. Many believe this creature was either Bigfoot or a dogman. The man, however, remains clueless. While out watching the northern lights in rural Sweden, this woman's mother decided to take a photo. At first, it looked like a beautiful capture of the sky, but when they looked closer, they noticed something creepy. Beneath the glowing aurora, a dark human-shaped figure can be seen in the image. What makes this especially disturbing is the location. They live far outside any town. There are no nearby footpaths, no trash bins, and no reason for anyone to be walking past their property at night. The photo wasn't zoomed in. Whoever or whatever appears in the image would have been just 1 or 2 meters away, close enough that they would have clearly seen someone standing there in real life. But they didn't. The image was later shared on Reddit, where viewers debated possible explanations, yet no clear answer has ever been confirmed. So who, or what, was standing there beneath the northern lights that night? Someone took this mysterious photo during a morning hike, completely unaware of what they had captured at the time. But there it is, a woman in white, seemingly in a wedding gown, crossing the train tracks. There wasn't a single soul around when the picture was taken. The hiker, a skeptic, tried to brush it off, maybe just an illusion or a camera glitch, but even they admit it's hard to explain. No witnesses, no sounds, just an empty track and this strange figure caught slipping silently through the frame. Can't be nothing, right? Reddit user Able Assumption 4566 was letting his dog outside late at night when his parents' dog, sitting on the porch, suddenly started barking uncontrollably towards the woods. Moments later, his own dog joined in. Something felt off, so he began recording the tree line and decided to move closer. That's when he noticed several shapes watching him from the darkness. At first, he assumed they were deer. Deer often stand still and observe. But as he got closer, they didn't react the way deer normally do. They didn't run, they just watched. It wasn't until he threw a large rock near them that the figures finally moved deeper into the woods. He captured nearly 2 minutes of footage from the encounter, later pulling this frame from the video and brightening it to see what was really there. Whatever was watching him that night didn't behave like normal wildlife, and that's what still unsettles him. In May 2016, a couple walking their dog along a beach in Port Talbot, South Wales, stumbled upon something unexpected. At first, it looked like a massive piece of driftwood, but as they got closer, they realized it was an enormous, decaying carcass. The discovery sparked intense speculation. Some thought it resembled a crocodile, an unlikely find on a UK beach. Others believed it was the remains of a decomposed whale. Despite all the theories and debate, the true identity of the creature remains a mystery. A woman named Troya shared this dark footage recorded on her family's property. In the distance, a figure with reflective eyes can be seen. According to Troya, the figure appears every evening at the same time. It remains at a fixed distance, never approaching the house, only standing and facing the property. Because of these repeated sightings, the family avoids going outside during that time. After researching similar cases online, Troya believes the figure may be a skinwalker, though the possibility that it's simply an animal can't be ruled out. During a walk in the woods, someone captured intriguing footage of something strange high up in the trees. Amidst the dense leaves, an outline appears to shift, almost invisible, blending seamlessly with the foliage. Could it be an unknown creature capable of perfect camouflage, or just an illusion of light and movement? In July 2021, a man and his girlfriend were hiking along the Lover's Lane Trail in Olympic National Park near the Sal Duke River. While enjoying the hike, they noticed something unusual in the distance: a dark figure. It was too far away to approach, and after watching it briefly, they assumed it was likely a fallen tree or a shadow and continued on their way. Later that day, the man reviewed the photo he had taken and decided to run it through Google's image search. The result surprised him. Google's AI suggested that the image appears to show a blurry figure that is widely believed to be Bigfoot. Curious, he shared the image online to get opinions from others. Most viewers weren't convinced. Many pointed out that the shape lacks clear features and could easily be explained by distance, lighting, or natural objects blending together. In the end, this appears to be a classic case of pareidolia, where the brain interprets vague shapes as something familiar. While reviewing their CCTV footage, this Reddit user was startled by an unexpected sight. A humanoid figure was captured walking past their home in Romania at midnight. The eerie footage has sparked intense debate, with some believing it could be something unexplainable, while others argue it's just a person distorted by poor lighting and camera quality. While hiking, unusual tracks were discovered on a 35-acre remote property near Cherokee Park in northern Colorado. The prints measured about 16 inches long, with a stride of roughly 2.5 feet. The property includes a cabin that's usually abandoned during the winter, and heavy snowdrifts often block access roads. This year, however, the mild winter made reaching the land possible, allowing the tracks to be noticed. Nearby footprints left by the visitors provided a clear comparison between human tracks and the mysterious prints, highlighting just how unusual they were. The hikers couldn't help but wonder, was it Bigfoot? A homeowner living deep in the forest captured something strange on their security camera one night. A person was seen entering the property in an unusual manner. While they might have been under the influence or in an altered state of mind, that still doesn't explain why they were there. Regardless of the reason, the individual's decision to climb over the fence raised questions about their intentions, leaving the homeowner feeling suspicious. A group of teenagers were hanging out at a local park when one of them noticed something strange in the sky. At first, it looked like a cluster of white birds, or possibly butterflies, moving together in the distance. But as they watched more closely, something didn't add up. The movement didn't match either birds or insects. Instead, the object appeared to have multiple wing-like shapes moving at the same time. To this day, there's no clear explanation for what they witnessed, leaving one lingering question. Was there a natural explanation hiding in plain sight, or did they capture something truly unexplained? And for more encounters like this, let's watch this next video together.